Jai Masters. Everyone has a choice of what level they want to live their life. We live in a society where it has been chosen, they didn't really have a choice, everyone has chosen to live their life a given way, which is, I have problems, I need to solve them. I have problems, I can't solve them. I'm not happy, I need to find out what will make me happy. I'm happy, I need to find out how to stay happy. In other words, the whole game is about a conditional set of concepts, views, opinions, preferences, hopes, dreams, likes, dislikes. And life becomes about, how do I make the world outside of me, people, places, and things, conform to what it is that I have committed myself to what it is that I think will make me be happy or okay, and how do I manipulate, control, work with people, places, and things outside of me so they aren't the way that I don't want them to be. And I'm telling you, that took about 30 seconds to explain. That's how everybody lives. That's how everybody lives. It's just a question of what they think will make them happy, what they think will make them sad. That can vary by culture, that can vary by person, that can vary by gender, right or wrong. All right? But the process is exactly the same, which is what my life is about is I'm not okay, and I need to work to be okay. So I need to decide what needs to happen and what needs to not happen so that I can be okay. Anybody want to argue with that? All right, that's one way of living. Now, people think the only alternative is to change what it is you think you want to happen. You understand that? Okay? You don't like your husband, get another one. Okay? The kid's not doing well, take him to a shrink. Okay? You're having physical problems, change your diet. In other words, the process stays the same, which is I'm in here and I'm not okay. And there are ways that things need to be outside that will make me be okay, better, both in the present and the future, and interestingly enough, even the past. There are things that bothered me in the past. I don't want it to have been that way. How about you? Right? And by not wanting to have been that way, and maybe daydreaming how it could have been different, maybe blaming somebody, all of that stuff is about, I don't want it to have been that way. It's not making me okay. So I need to do something about it. But what can you do about the past? It's over. You can blame it. You can hate it. You can suppress it. You can not talk to people that were involved in it. You can move and never go back to the place where it happened. Come on. You can do something about it. Pretty meaningless. Okay? You are doing that about the past. You're doing that about the present. And you're sure as heck doing that about the future. Again, what am I saying you're doing? I'm in here, I am not okay, and I'm trying to see how everybody and everything around me needs to be, or needed to be, or will be, in order to make me do better. And then I'm going to go out there and decide, that's one decision, what's going to make it work, and then how do I make that happen? I always explain to you, it's like going to war with life. Now, I'm an old hippie, I never went to military college or anything, all right? But I assure you, that what they teach you in military college, right, is that there's two aspects to battle, a strategy and a tactic. If you don't know what you're trying to achieve, it's kind of hard to achieve it. So you start off with, this is my strategy. This is what I'm going to try and make happen. That's your strategy. Your tactic is how I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to use tanks. I'm going to use planes. I'm going to do this or that, whatever. I'll use cyber attacks. Whatever you want to do, okay? Those are tactics. That's not a strategy. Strategy is what you're trying to achieve. A tactic is how you're trying to achieve it. I am telling you, you are at war with life. Period. I don't care how much of a pacifist you think you are. You are at war with life. My strategy is I'm going to have to do things to make myself be okay. All right? If I get a new house, if I get a new husband, if I get a new relationship, if I lose 10 pounds, if I get a new job, if I go back to school and train myself, I'll be better, all right? You have a strategy about how you're going to get better. Well, it's not going to happen by itself, is it? Okay? So you have to have a tactic. I'll move and I'll go here and I'll do that. Or I'll pay for my kids to get into a good college. That's a tactic. The strategy is we'll all be happier if the kid gets into a good college. The tactic is, well, they could study. Nah, they won't do that. We could pay off the coach. We laugh at it, but it's fine. Everybody's doing something. Everybody is doing what I'm saying. I'm not okay. Here's what I think will make me be okay. And here's what I think will make me be worse. How do I make it happen? So you have a strategy and a tactic, and then you go out there and maybe you're not good at it. Maybe you're an alpha person, you're really good at it, and you're out there forcefully imposing. Maybe use a gun, maybe use a flower. They're just tactics. One's nicer than another, but that's what's going on. Does everybody understand that? That is one way of living your life. I don't advise it. What do you mean? There's another way. What's the alternative? Is there really an alternative? There's really an alternative, and it's really different. It is not a paradigm shift to change your tactic. It is not a paradigm shift to change your strategy. Do you understand that? I always thought I needed a relationship. I've been through 3 of them. Got a bunch of exes. They all live in Texas, all right? And now I'm going to try living single. I'm going to try and be whole with myself, all right? That is a change in strategy. Now you need a tactic about how that's going to work. All right? It's all the same. That's not a paradigm shift. That's just a minor little flavor change. Okay? So a paradigm shift says the following. Start at the root. Buddhists say start at the root. Where was the root? I'm not okay. That was the root. That's where it started. If you are okay, you don't got a strategy or a tactic. You're in the arms of your beloved. It's the most wonderful moment you've ever been. You're totally blissed out. What do you want? You want some ice cream? Leave me alone. You want a new house? Your house? Leave me alone. I'm already experiencing what it is I wish to experience. Therefore, I am okay. Therefore, I don't need a strategy about how to be okay, and I don't need tactics about how to bring about my strategy. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you can achieve that state? Nobody will tell you that. And in fact, your mind will sit there and say, well, I don't want to do that. How will I be productive? How will I get what I want? It's way past that whole thing. You don't know how to think that way. If you are, let's get the cat out of the bag to start with. If you are whole and complete within yourself, and you are perfectly capable of it, and you are feeling love and joy and inspiration all the time, no matter what is going on, you're with somebody, you're not with somebody, it's raining, it's sunny, you're at work, you're at home, you're camping, doesn't matter. You're fine. You're not doing those things to be fine. You're already fine. It does not mean you're not going to do anything. No. I already said to you, you will feel love. Have you noticed that when you feel love, you want to express it? Who's noticed that? Okay? Go fall in love with somebody more than you've ever loved them and have them leave, and you can't see them anymore. They still love you, but they're over in Europe. That don't feel good. Not fun. You swim the ocean. All the songs come up now, right? All right? Love is an inspiration. Love is a drive. Love wishes to express itself. Inspiration. If you're filled with inspiration, you can't wait to do something, like an artist that can't wait to put down on a canvas, or a musician who can't wait to get home and by themselves and just try that new piece, right? You don't need the drive to be need. Right now, your entire drive is need. Why? I'm not okay. That was your starting place. I need to be okay. Of course you want to be okay. I need love. I need joy. I need, right? How are you going to be okay? Then you start with your strategy. I'm lonely. I don't feel whole. I need somebody. Okay? That's where need comes from. All need, not your basic physiological food and that kind of stuff, all right? Right? But all your psychological needs. There are no psychological needs. They are all made up. Period. You have no psychological needs. None. Don't let them ever lie to you. You're fine alone. You're fine with people. You're fine in the cold. You're fine at night. You're fine during the day. You're fine all the time. You're fine old. Oh, you're so old. It's fun. You're fine young. You're fine if people like you. You're fine if people don't like you. You're just fine. All right? Needs, all of them come because I'm not okay. And because I'm not okay, I need things to make me be okay. I need to look different. I need people to like me. I need to be popular. I need to be famous. I need whatever the heck. I need money. Right? That's because my strategy said, if I have those things, I'll be better. I need a bigger house than my neighbors. I can be better than Jones. That makes me feel better. I need a really fancy car when I pull up somewhere and meet people so that they're impressed right off the bat. I don't want to have to impress them and just pull up in a Ferrari, a $300,000 car, right? That's a good start. I feel more comfortable meeting new people. Do you hear me? There are no needs. That's just because you're not okay, it leaves an emptiness inside of you, and you try to fill that with things that you think will fill the emptiness. So those are what you feel as needs, is the attempt to solve the problem you have inside. Once that is solved, and it can be solved, we're going to talk about that. They won't tell you that. First, because they don't know. It's not like some great conspiracy. Your teachers didn't tell you, your parents didn't tell you. They purposely talked to you and said, don't tell her, don't tell her. No, they don't know that. All they know is need. All they know is satisfying needs. They only know that one way. If you are whole, if you feel complete, if you feel inspiration, true inspiration, like a musician feels when they want to just play the piece, a painter feels it, not to sell it, just to express it. How's that? Beethoven was that way. You know that. I love Beethoven. Crazy maniac, but I love him, all right? Like Beethoven went deaf. He's one of the greatest composers ever. He went deaf. But he couldn't not hear. He didn't want to not hear. He had to express what he heard inside himself. You know what he did? Literally, he cut the legs off his grand piano, put it on the floor, and leaned his ear against the floor so he could feel the vibration. That's all sound is, the vibration. He couldn't hear it, but he could feel it, and he composed that way. All right? That's somebody who wants to express themselves. You have that inside of you, period. So if you are driven by inspiration, not need, if you are driven by love that wishes to express itself, not need, it's a whole nother ball game. Life's a whole nother ball game. There are no problems. There are no worries. There are no anxieties. There is no tension. Do you hear me? None. For anybody, you. Doesn't matter how screwed up you think you are. All right? There's nothing. Why? What is anxiety? I might not get what I want. Oh my God, what if I said the wrong thing? So what if you said the wrong thing? Then I won't get what I want. You know what I'm saying? What if you met somebody and you had ketchup or you had a piece of spinach in your tooth the whole date, and you had a piece of spinach in there, and then you come home, you ain't going to let that thing go for about 3 weeks. You'll be afraid to meet anybody, talk to anybody, or anything. Why? I blew it. You blew what? I blew impressing the person so that they behave the way I want them to behave around me and be attracted toward me or get me what I need. Do you understand that? It is all based on need. Needs make you neurotic. Needs make life impossible. Needs are not nice things. Streisand had it wrong. People who need people are the most unfortunate people in the world. Haven't you seen that? Right? Man, that's a drag. Okay? If you're whole and complete within yourself, people are wonderful. There's somebody you could talk to. There's play. They like you. They like you. They don't like you. They don't like you. It's fun. All right? So that's the paradigm shift. Like I said, I let the cat out of the bag right away. The paradigm shift is if you are not okay inside, you're going to do what I said. You're just going to all do it different ways. If you're Russian, you do it one way. Rich, you do it one way. Poor, you do it another way. Single, you do it another way. Whatever it is. I'm not okay. I'm going to develop a strategy. I think what made me be okay. And I'm going to have tactics. And I'm going to go out there and fight with every minute. And I'm going to have tension. What is tension? I've explained it, haven't I? Right? Tension is you're fighting. If you're fighting, you have tension. I'm struggling to get things the way I need them to be and to make them not be the way I don't need them to be. That'll create tension, won't it? Right? If you struggle. That creates anxiety. What is anxiety? It might not be the way I want it to be. It might be the way I don't want it to be. Well, that's always the case, isn't it? It might, right? Therefore, people become neurotic. That is way that thing leads to neurosis at one level or another. Okay? You call it a mental illness. Yoda doesn't call it a mental illness, no matter how bad it is. All right? The extreme of it's fine. All right? It is the fact that you got a bad case of the wants. And because you got a bad case of the wants, you're freaking out. You worry all the time. Your mind won't stop thinking. You just keep trying to impose, figure out what I need, what's the strategy, figure out what the tactics are, and then make them happen. It doesn't do any good to have a strategy without implementing it. It doesn't do any good to use tactics that don't work. And that's the pressure you deal with every day of your life. I applied to college. I want to get into this college. I want to get into this college. Why? Because if I get into this college, then I'll be more important and I get a better job. You don't understand. That's all the first method. It doesn't mean you can't get into a good college. It doesn't mean you don't apply, right? It's just fun. You want to be happy, be happy. If you're happy inside, you don't need things to make you happy. This whole game of saying, I need that, and I need to get it, is because you're not okay. So the difference in these two methods is not about your strategy, and it is not about your tactics. It is about, at the core, are you okay or not? When you wake up in the morning, do you giggle? Or do you worry? Do you feel anxiety? What did I say? What do I do about it? Oh my God, did I say? Was I drunk? What did I say last night? Oh my God, I better find. No, right? A being who follows the second path, the higher path, wakes up in the morning and goes, I'm back. Wonder what will happen today. Who cares? Oh, doesn't that sound terrible? Don't tell your parents I told you that, right? Who cares? I'm sitting on a planet spinning in the middle of absolutely nowheres. I tell you that all the time. Why, it's true. It's a tiny little ball in the middle of black, empty space. If it disappeared, no one could care less. Entire stars, galaxies collide with each other. There are 300 billion stars in each galaxy. You got one star with a tiny little planet. You're 1 out of 8. If the Earth went away, nobody would care. Nothing would do anything. Like you're saying, but it would affect the gravitational force of all balance, right? You have this thing called a solar system. That means you have one star and these 8 planets and, asteroids and stuff circling around it. It absolutely would affect that if one of those guys dropped out, right? That's one star. I told you last time. I want to get you ready. What about the next star? The next closest star? Oh, you mean the one that is 4.5 light years away from our star? How far away is that? If I take a beam of light, a photon, and I hold it above the planet Earth, I got it, I caught it, I got it right there. The whole Earth, like you see from the astronauts, is underneath you. You got it? If I let it go for 1 second, it circumnavigated the globe 6.5 times. That's the speed of light. In 1 second, it went around the entire Earth 6.5 times. Go do that every second for 4.5 years, and you will get to the next closest star. I doubt anything would change if the Earth dropped out. Do you understand that? Okay? It's like, wake up. You're sitting on a little planet in the middle of absolutely nowheres. I hope you're having fun. You're not having fun. And I know why you're not having fun. Because you can only have fun if your tactic works to get you the strategy that momentarily makes you feel better. Do you understand that? Go on, figure out who you want to attract for your husband or wife. Let's say you win. People don't, but let's say you do. You win the lottery, right? You find this person, there they are. I know on your wedding day or when somebody proposes, that's an awesome moment. Why? Because you're getting what you think you want. If you had decided, I want to stay single and I want to get married, I have a career, and then this guy you got to talk to my father, and my father's making me do this, a shotgun wedding, right? I don't feel so good about it, okay? The thing is nothing in and of itself. It is how it blends in to your tactic and your strategy. So I don't question one iota that if you are not okay, and ever since you were 6 years old, you dreamed of Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, Miss Right, and now all of a sudden somebody shows up, and now all of a sudden your heart goes boom, and everything's going to be perfect. You really think everything's going to be perfect? It does not take long before you get on each other's nerves. And sometimes it's something as big as, God, he leaves the top off the toothpaste. Okay? It does. He slurps the soup. God, he calls his mother every day. I didn't realize he did that. How many things can he do wrong or can she do wrong? About 6 million. Why? Because I have decided in my strategy and my tactic exactly how this person's going to behave. Haven't I? What they're going to wear, how they're going to act, how they are around my parents, what kind of car they drive. Well, when I married him, he was going to be a doctor. And who would think he'd flunk out of medical school? I'm not interested. It's terrible to talk that way, isn't it? The minute it does not match what you decided you needed in order to be okay, bye-bye. Nice knowing you. And my favorite statement is somebody asks, well, why? Why? What did I do? It's not, you didn't do anything. It's just not working for me anymore. What does that mean? It's not working for me anymore. It means I had a way I thought it needed to be for me to be okay, and it just ain't cutting it. I'm not going to hang out here if it ain't cutting it. I got strategies to fulfill and tactics to carry out. And you ain't cutting it anymore. Isn't that beautiful? It's sad as could be, isn't it? All right? Like, man, you're like in there, you're by yourself in there, and you just decide how everything, I can't express it enough, how everything needs to be for you to be okay. Walk into a restaurant. I'm all excited, right? They have to be playing the right music. The tables can't be too close together. Nobody can be talking too loud. There can't be somebody who went outside to smoke, because when the door opens, the smoke comes in. So you have a way everything in that restaurant needs to be for you to be okay, don't you? That's one moment of your life. Every single second you are doing this. The alternative, let's pick this up a little bit. It's getting depressing. The alternative, thank God there is an alternative. The alternative is to say, why am I not okay? Who said my starting position is down in a hole somewheres and I got to figure out how to get out, right? Who made it that way? Who said that? Why is my natural state not okay? You have the right to ask that question. And by the way, you don't have to ask it to God. Okay? You listen to me. I'm literally, this is the level we're talking. Why are you not in bliss all the time? Well, I didn't find the husband. No, that is your strategy about how to be in bliss. Do you see the difference? Okay? It's not about trying to solve it because you don't have it. You don't get to say, if I say to you, why are you not happy all the time? Well, I didn't get into college I wanted to, and my parents aren't proud of me, right? And this and that, and I'm aging prematurely. I wanted to look young for a long time. That's not why you're not okay. Those are the things you decided needed to happen to make you be okay. Therefore, you are not okay to start with. Do you understand that? Your starting place is, I'm not okay. There is a whole paradigm shift to this thing, and it works. That is to say, why am I not okay? Why am I not okay? Ask the question, not what do I do about it? Why am I not okay? And you're going to find out, if you dare to do this and walk this path, that you're going to find out there's a reason you're not okay. And there's something you can do about it. Whoa, I want to do that. If there's something I can do to make me be naturally okay, where I'm always okay, and then everything else is just gravy, is out there playing around, having fun, okay, because I don't need a single thing, and I'm whole and complete with it myself. I'm feeling joy all the time. You listen to me. Make sure you know what I'm talking about. Ever been high? You know, someone proposed to you, you got an A+ on the test, you played an instrument, everybody clapped really well. Come on, ever really get blissed out, all right? I am talking to you about it being like that all the time, period. You can literally feel upward waves of joy, not I'm okay, right? I have to learn how to handle this. That's the level I want, right? There's just waves of Shakti, spirit, call it whatever you want, welling up inside of you all the time, period, while you're watching TV, while you're driving your car, while you're eating dinner, whatever it is, while somebody's yelling at you at work. Shh, don't tell them you said that, all right? Like, this is fun. I wonder what they'll say next. You're standing on a little planet from the middle of nowhere and someone's yelling at you. How can that not be fun? But even to Mars and a Martian shop. Wow, man, that would be neat. Okay? You're right home. Wow, they were yelling at me. Okay? You can have fun. You can have fun. And that energy is there all the time. And the reason you're not experiencing it is not because you're not the chosen one. You're all chosen ones. You all have that energy flow inside of you. Well, what if I blew it? You can't blow it. You can't blow it. You understand that? You know, it's pretty amazing that breath, air, goes in and out of the lungs of good people and bad people and old people and young people and different nationalities and etc. You understand that? It is transcendent to this whole game of doing and not doing and right and wrong and good and bad. Your natural state is one of joy. If you are not feeling that energy flow, that's what joy is. Joy, what is joy? Right? Go look it up in Webster Dictionary. Don't. Okay? Go ask a yogi. All right? Joy is the upward flow, the free upward flow of energy that flows through your heart, up into your head, and out, just pouring through your whole being like you felt once or twice in your whole life. You understand that? Just that complete sense of total well-being, of the energy rushing up. Sometimes love does it, sometimes getting new, extreme. Maslow called them peak experiences. That is what joy is this upward rush of energy. It is energy. Do you understand that? You feel energetic. You feel, whoa, you smile. You know why you smile? Because the upward flow of the energy causes your muscles to go up. You know why you frown? Because there's no energy as the muscles go down. That's actually true. All right? It's an energetic situation. You ever feel your heart floating? I felt like my heart had wings, Sufi, right? Up. You ever have your heart fall out from under you? You're standing there, it just drops down. You have no juice. You don't even, yes or no? All right? That's the energy flow I'm talking about. You can have it flow inside of you going up all the time. Why is it not doing that? Because you are blocking it. That's the truth, period. It is always in there. It is always trying to flow. It's not even just in there, go find it. It is trying to flow, period. All right? You are stopping it. Well, why would I stop it? That's nice stuff. In fact, every single thing I'm doing out there, finding the husband or wife and getting the money and finding the right job that interests me. What do they say, the right job? Find your passion. What is passion? When it happens, it turns me on. You get that? So go ahead and block your energy so you can go out there and find exactly the right job with just the right boss that pays you just the right salary and gives you the raise when you're supposed to have it, and you work with just the people you want to work with so it hits you just right and you get to feel the energy. Block it so you can go out there and kill yourself to try and do something so it'll make you feel it for one moment. Did anybody understand that? All right? That is what you're doing, literally. But no one will tell you that. So what's spirituality, yoga, call it whatever you want, deep, I'll just call it deep. Deep, living deep, says, if I'm blocking it, I am going to make my strategy and my tactic to not block it, not to compensate for the fact that I'm blocking it. Do you see the difference? To find something outside that even though I'm blocking it, now, I'm not really lovable. I can't believe anybody would really love me. I've been through so many relationships and I just feel that way, right? And all of a sudden, somebody shows up and says, "No, you don't understand. I've never loved anybody more than I love you in my whole life." You know, it comes out of your mouth. Are you sure? Of course, that comes out of your mouth. Or better yet, what did you say? I didn't hear you. I like that one. All right. In other words, you're trying to use an outside force to overcome what you're doing to yourself. Do you understand that? Okay, and that's what everybody's doing. So basically, what spirituality, yoga, deep, says, this energy is always there. I can prove it because when something happens the way you want it to be, the energy comes up. And what makes it come up for you makes it go down for you. It's not that something in and of itself, right? Larry comes running into the room and he comes up to you and says, "I love you. I've always loved you," right? Your heart bursts open, right? Hey, man, it's a stalker. Get this guy away from me. Who's he? Right? It is not, the event is not what he said. It is not him. It is you. Do you understand that? You did that. Your strategy and tactic was, oh my God, if Larry loved me, oh my God, ever since kindergarten we were in the same homeroom and I have a crush on him. You hear me? That was your thing. And now when it happened, you burst open. Why? Because you let it. You stopped blocking yourself because something happened that matched what you wanted. That's all that happened. It has nothing to do with Larry. We're not soulmates. There are no soulmates. There is a soulmate. You are your own soulmate. All right? You're whole and complete within yourself. Doesn't mean you can't share it with others. Don't get scared. Right? If you're filled with love, share it. It's fun. Right? You don't need to. You're filled with love before I met you. I'm showering you with love while you're here. And I'm filled with love when you leave. How would you like to be like that? That is your natural state. No worries, no fears, no anxieties, no tension, no neurosis, period. Just total well-being all the time. Why? Because you stop blocking the energy. So now we're at the foundation of how to work the second way. All right? The second way has strategies and tactics too. All right? The first way said, I'm not okay. What's my strategy and tactic to be okay? The second way says, I am okay, but I'm blocking it. So my strategy is stop blocking it. I have to stop blocking my energy flow. The tactic becomes meditation, yoga, positive thinking. Those are tactics for trying to work with yourself. I've always wanted to talk to you at this level. You should know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't just do it. All right? So the question is, first, why am I blocking myself? I don't understand. I'm blocking myself, then I'm going out there and trying to make things happen that make me feel not blocked. That's pretty weird. Okay, why am I doing that? I've explained it to you numerous times. It's very deep. And it to me, and the more I teach it, the more I see it, this is what Genesis and the Bible are talking about when they talk about the fall from the garden. This is the beginning where it is that you are not, the garden is you're living in ecstasy all the time. Everything's fine. You have to do a single thing. Everything's beautiful. Everything's interesting, so on. All right? That is your natural state. How would you fall out of that? What happens is you experience different things. Life exists. It unfolds. Life is unfolding without you. You're not pedaling. All right? What are you doing to make Saturn have rings? Well, nothing. Okay? What are you doing to make it rain yesterday as hard as it did? Nothing. What are you doing to make her sit where she's sitting right now on this particular moment and have a little flower on her blouse? Nothing. What are you doing about everything? Nothing. It's like there's 800 billion zillion things going on right now, aren't there? What are you doing? Nothing. Okay, that's the truth. The truth is the universe exists. Mazel tov. Get with the program. It's been going on for 13.8 billion years. How long you been here? That's what I thought. Okay. And what's the difference whether you say 18 or 88? No difference compared to 13.8 billion. You understand that? So it's been going on all this time. It really exists. There it is. A part of it flows in front of you every moment, doesn't it? That's all that's happening. A part is flowing in front of you. When that happens, it is a gift. It is a blessing. It is the meaning of your life is to experience the moments that are your life. Why else would you be here? Don't get all confused. Okay? That's what it's about. So it unfolds in front of you. You experience it. I've taught you a core. I teach you all the time this. Every single experience you have makes you a greater person. Now, I know that's difficult for you because you had some tough experiences, right? I'm telling you in the realm of truth, I'm going to take you, put you in a closet from the age of 6 to the age of 66. I'm going to take you and put you out in the world, and all kinds of stuff's going to happen to you. Moments are going to flow by you. Who's better off? You call one abuse. It's so bad, all right? It's like it's not even close, is it? Because experiences are worth having. Experiences make you a more intelligent, richer person, a wholer person. How am I wholer? Because I experienced it. I don't even know how to talk about this. It's so simple, right? I've never experienced a relationship breaking up. I feel sorry for you. It's quite an experience. All right? It's an experience. You learn something. I call this the veteran of the foreign wars. Right? You're a veteran. You went out there and had experiences. What's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. You understand that? Every single experience you have makes you greater. You are better off having an experience than not having an experience. I never broke my arm. Well, somebody broke their arm. Everybody signed it. It was a big deal in high school and blah, blah, blah. You missed out, kid. You never broke your arm. Sorry for you. All right? I got married, and it lasted 63 years. We had our 63rd anniversary. All right? Well, I got married. It lasted 6 months. It lasted 6 months. All right? Who's better off? Don't you dare answer me. You're going to answer me based on your strategy and tactic. You understand that? Because the truth of the matter is the person that lasted 66 years didn't get to experience what it was like to love somebody, get married, and have the whole stupid thing fall apart in 6 months. And find out why, what's it about, what did you miss? Oh, my God, did you learn a lot? Do you understand that? Okay? And the person that fell apart in 6 months didn't know what it was like to be with one person for 66 years. You do not have the right to say who's better off. Sorry. I didn't tell you to come out here. But do you understand that? Do you see what I'm saying? Every single experience makes you richer. You can't have all of them. I told you there's 700 billion of them going on at the same time. You're only going to have the ones in front of you. Well, will you at least have that one? And the answer is no. Why? Because you're in there, the experience comes in, and some of them don't feel so good. The married 66 years maybe felt really good to you. The having the thing fall apart in 6 months might have felt really caustic in there. That's okay. That's part of the experience. There's yin and yang, right? There's beautiful things and there's not so beautiful things. You get to experience those and become a greater being because of that, because you're a knower of those things. But what happens is we have this deep in ourselves that we have a resistance. It's at a very deep level that says, no, I can't handle that. You know what it feels like? I can't handle that. Okay? If you can't handle something, what does it mean? It means it came in, it actually happened, otherwise you're not dealing with it. It happened, it came in, it's carrying a vibration, and that vibration is not comfortable to you. All right? That's perfectly reasonable. A rattlesnake rattling, that's not a comfortable vibration. But it happened, you better be able to handle it. No. Oh, that's it, man. No, I don't have to be able to handle it, and I won't. Okay, screw yourself up. If you sit there and say, that event took place, it did, it came in, it did, I don't want it in there, I don't want to feel it, then what you do is Freudian resistance. You suppress it, you resist it, you know what I'm talking about, you do it all the time. Do you understand that? You are all the time in there manipulating energies, pushing this one away, clinging to this one. Do you see that? Do you understand that? Right? You're very busy dude in there. All right? You're just pushing away. When you do that, that's what blocks your energy. I'm not going to go into it. In the online course, you want to go deeper in this stuff, I went and spent hours on this. All right? That's what blocks your energy. When you push it away, you actually push something real away. This event took place, it comes in, it's going to pass through you, but you didn't let it pass through you. So the energy vibration stayed inside of you. The event didn't stay inside of you. The snake didn't stay inside of you. But your resistance to the experience of the snake did. And that's suppression. That's repression or resistance. Freud had repression and suppression. I always forget which one's deeper or more damaging, right? But he had different levels of suppression and repression, right? But there's this thing called resistance. It's not as deep as suppression or repression, but you do resist. Do you understand that? And when you resist, it stays in there. If you call out to Sally, I try to use benign examples, hey, Sally, how you doing? And Sally's a friend of yours, and she keeps walking by, I'm telling you, you can't handle that. That's weird. You can't handle that. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. They didn't say hello either. Okay? But your self-concept, this whole thing you built in here, didn't match with Sally not saying hello. Okay? So first you bothered yourself. Well, was she listening to earbuds? I didn't see any earbuds. I don't know. Was she mad at me? Did George say something? I remember I mentioned, I told him not to say it. All that crap's going to go inside your head. Hear me? And I'm telling you, there is zero chance, I don't care how high you think you are, you look at me, that the next time, 2 days later, that you see Sally, that there ain't something changing inside of you that's different than it would have been before she didn't say hello 2 days ago. Do you understand that? Your heart beats a little faster. Your mind says, go the different way. I don't want to see Sally. You actually walk around the corner. Anybody willing to admit it? Okay? It stayed inside of you. I'm talking so deep because no one will teach you this. That's not supposed to stay inside of you. It was over 2 days ago. Do you understand that? It's because you couldn't handle it. If what happened is you call up to Sally, Sally, how you doing? She doesn't say hello, right? And your mind just said, she probably got those earbuds on again. That's the end of it. Next time you see Sally, not only does it not bother you, you don't even mention it. You don't ask. Hey, that's a little, all right? If it's not in there, it's not in there. It's not supposed to be in there. Do you hear me? What's supposed to be in there is ecstasy. What's supposed to be in there is the joy of life. What's supposed to be in there is the excitement of your being flowing inside of you. That you're going to trade that off because Sally didn't say hello and you don't know why? Or because the driver in front of you is driving 15 miles an hour below the speed limit? Or because it rained and you have to get out of the car and get a little wet? The answer is, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a flaming mess out of myself. And that's what you've done. Right? And I just talked about benign things. Sally not saying hello, driver in front of you, the rain, what about the ex-husband? What about the parents? What about, high school? High school's a really good one. I just broadly say high school. It gets it all, right? High school was a lot of fun, wasn't it? All kinds of stuff went on in high school. Why? Because you were a mess and you had all these rules, how everything needed to be. That's what kids do, right? You started your whole self-concept. You built all this stuff. All right. That is a short answer as to why you have blocked your energy. The things you hold inside, the psychological energies that you resist and hold inside, are like boulders in a dam. They block the flow of the energy. Please believe me, if you don't know that, right? Like I just showed you an example, right? Sally didn't say hello. All of a sudden your energy changes the next time you see her, don't you? Right? Or you see your parents, or you this, or you see your bedroom that you grew up in, or you go to the hometown, or you hear that, or you just hear somebody's name. Your ex-husband's name was Ben. 15 years later, you're in a totally different country, and somebody yells out, Ben, is Ben here? What does that mean? It's still in there. I'm telling you, if it is in there, it is blocking your energy flow, right? How do I say that? Because it caused your energy flow to change, didn't it? All right, you got a little, I call it getting weird in there. That's like, you ever get a little weird in there? Or Darth Vader, disturbance in the Force? Ever feel a disturbance in the Force in there? Ever not? It's like you have stored so much stuff in there that it has blocked the flow of your energy. And because it has blocked the flow of your energy, your stuff gets hit all the time. And it's not comfortable. And you're afraid it will get hit. Do you understand that? So now you have to develop this whole thing, model number one, methodology number one, develop this whole concept of how the world needs to be for your stuff not to get hit. You hear me? Or for stuff to happen that you held good stuff in there too. Right? You met somebody and you liked them and you're going to meet again at night. Well, you don't live the rest of your day, baby. Maria, I just met a girl named Maria, and no, right? It's like the whole rest of the day is Maria. All right, I missed the rest of my day. I don't know about you. All right, you hold it inside of you because you want to experience it. You push it away inside because you don't want to experience it. By the time you're done, you got everything stuck in there. You hear me? You weren't able to let the world pass through, and so you built it in there, and now your whole life is based on that. Is based on avoiding what you don't want to happen, and then basically trying to cling to and make happen what you want to happen. So basically, that methodology is why you're blocked. That's why you're blocked. And the way of life that I'm talking about is you finally catch on that that's what's going on, and you sit there and say, the meaning of my life is to unblock myself. Not I'll block myself, but then I'll make sure things don't happen that disturb me, and I'll make sure things do happen that open me. What a ridiculous way to live. And so instead you say, the purpose of my life, every moment of it, is purification. That's what purification means. It doesn't mean you never swear, all right, or wear white all the time, or, right? It means you let go of this stuff that you stored inside. So now the question becomes, if you catch on, because I'm telling you, that stuff is blocking your natural ecstasy. You have just joy, love, inspiration. You're very creative. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I love when people say, I'm not creative. I can't visualize anything with my mind. What happens when you go to sleep? Have any dreams? Are they creative? Right? Oh, yeah, I was on another planet. I saw the things and the Martians came. And then I saw my mother, but she was 16 feet tall. And you actually saw all that, did you? Where'd that come from? I guess you're pretty creative. I guess you're pretty able to create visualizations, right? So young. You did that. Your mind did that. Why can't you do that when you're awake? I'm blocked. I'm completely blocked. I can't do anything when I'm awake except be neurotic. Worry, get anxiety. You hear me? I'm trying to show you how great you are. You're a great being, but you have blocked it with this stuff. So the path, the second methodology of life, becomes really straightforward, but it's a real paradigm shift. I woke up in the morning, and I'm going to make a pledge to myself. When I go to bed tonight, there's going to be less stuff in here. I am going to use every moment of every day of my life to let go of all this garbage I stored inside of me. Can you? Yes. What's the way to do it? I teach a very simple way. Don't get scared. You have to go on to month-long retreats, and you don't have to go through all kinds of junk, right? It's as simple. If you're going to let this stuff go, which should scare you, because it's not in there except that it scared you. Do you understand that, right? I don't want to think about the ex-husband. I can't let him go. I understand. I don't want you touching it. I'm not asking. I'm not inviting anything like that. I'm saying this. If you work on letting that stuff go, but you take more in, what good did that do? The start of the path is very simple. Don't put more in. It's like a game. It's like a video game. Can you go through the day without putting more of those in there? Well, that means that if I say hello to Sally, hey, Sally, and she doesn't say hello, I see the tendency, but if you're a conscious being, witness consciousness, I see the tendency to make a thing out of it. Okay, good. There's your work. Instead of working on making Sally say hello or making sure you know what mood she's in so you don't say hello if she's not going to say hello back, just sit there and say, I can handle it. I can handle that Sally didn't say hello. I can handle that the white lines on the road are dotted and dashed, and sometimes they're solid, and sometimes they're double, and sometimes they're single, sometimes they're yellow. You okay? You sure? You make sure? Oh, you can handle things, can you? I can handle that Saturn has rings. How about you? In fact, I'm really good. I've done this for so long. I can handle 99.999999999% of everything that's going on in the universe, as long as it's not in front of me. But you can. You do every day. It's all going on. You understand that? It doesn't bother you one iota, does it? Something's fishy about the stuff that it bothers you. It's always the stuff right in front of you. All right? It's because you develop this concept of how you need things to be okay. That's why stuff in front of you hits your stuff. So what you do is you make a game out of it. And you just sit there and say, I'm going to be conscious. That's why you meditate or do mantra, to stay conscious. But what do you do with that consciousness? I'm interested in the state of your being. The permanent state of your being. So your consciousness needs to say that the momentary experiences that turn me on, I'm not renouncing them, or I'm not that kind of thing, but I'm not looking. That's not what I'm doing. I'm interested that I can handle the day. I want to handle the day. Whoa. Not I want to happen what I want to happen. I want to be able to handle what happened. I want to be handle reality. How's that? Reality's sitting in front of me. How do you know? Christ said, let those who have eyes to see, let them see. Let those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Didn't he say that? All right? That's how you know reality. How do I know reality? Open your eyes. There it is, right? But I don't like it. There's the rub. All right? So you start working with it. Little tiny things. Start with, just like you practice the piano, not by playing Beethoven or Mozart. You play the scales. I'm begging you, make this easy for yourself. Start with what I call the low-hanging fruit. The things that shouldn't be bothering you. It shouldn't bother you that Sally didn't say hello. The cost-benefit analysis is ridiculous. It's all cost, no benefit. And the same thing with the driver in front of you. I catch him talking to the driver. Nice blinker. They didn't hear me. Well, it was just some negative thought that comes up inside. Why would I do that? Why would I sit there and create all this anxiety and negativity inside of me when they're going to turn in 2 blocks or whatever the heck it is? So you start, literally, you listen to me. The power you build within yourself by actually working at that level is beyond your comprehension. Just like if you literally sat there and tried to play Beethoven when you play the piano, you ain't getting nowheres. And if somebody sits there and teaches you how to play the scales, all of a sudden you're getting better every day, aren't you? This is exactly the same. You sit there and take it seriously. I'm going to handle the moments that are unfolding in front of me. Oh, I love telling you that, right? That can be your mantra. You can do some esoteric mantras if you want, or you can sit there and say, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this, period. That's called affirmation. You should sit there and say, I can handle anything that will ever happen to me. Especially these little tiny low-hanging fruit things. I can handle the fact that somebody parked too close next to me. It's hard for me to get in. It's not going to ruin my day. I'm not going to tell everybody. I'm not going to take out a measuring stick. And I'm not going to leave a note on the guy's door. There are things you can do every moment of your life to liberate yourself from yourself, to free yourself. You're the one who blocked yourself. Nobody else did it. If all of a sudden your boyfriend shows up in a bow tie and you ain't a bow tie type person, in fact, your uncle wore bow ties and he used to pinch your cheek and you hate him, I don't like it at all, right? And who would think the guy would wear a bow tie? You did that. You are the one who said no bow ties. If the uncle who wore the bow ties was your best friend and took care of you because your parents were getting divorced and so on, that guy, your boyfriend showed up in that bow tie, your heart goes, boom, oh my God, how'd you know I love bow ties? You're doing this. It is so silly to make up what you like and not like and then try to make it happen and get upset because it didn't or get excited because it did. How about we just instead enjoy the unfolding of life without fighting with it, resisting with it, but you start with, I can handle it. You go, if you do that with the everyday things that go on, I'm telling you, your whole life will change. That's more important than meditation. It's more important. Of course, you have to meditate to do that, stay conscious enough to do that. Otherwise, you'll realize you didn't do it afterwards. You understand that? All right? Get yourself conscious, but this is what I want you to do with your consciousness. I want you every single minute to let go of the resistance you feel inside yourself. How do you do that? Relax. I teach you different methods. I don't teach methods really, but to me the highest method I have found is if when the event takes place and it starts to cause a disturbance inside, if I relax, just relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your tummy, relax your buttocks, just relax. Well, what if it gets tight again? Relax again. That's what you're doing. Because when something disturbs you, you want to do something about it. You understand that? You want to protect yourself. You want to defend yourself. You want to do something, don't you? This is what you do, is you relax. Why? When you are relaxing, you cannot engage. Try relaxing and fighting with somebody. It's like judo, right? They fall right over you. It takes muscle tension in order to resist. If you relax, it passes through. Not necessarily all of it at once, but it does more than if you engaged it. If you went down there, what do I do about this? I didn't say hello, oh my God. No, that's engaging it, right? Instead, relax. No, you're going to have so much trouble. It's adorable. You can't relax around anything, right? You're like, I got to protect myself. No, you don't. She just didn't say hello. Give me a break, right? You're the one who's making a melodrama out of it. She didn't hear you. Who cares? Is anybody listening? Dare to let go. That's what letting go is. Dare to relax and let as much of it go as possible. That's what mantra. You do a mantra instead of getting involved. Don't engage it. Relax. Don't suppress it and say it didn't happen. Just don't engage. Relax. And then whatever made it be there, which is all your past and the stuff you stored, will start to release. And over time, you start to get happier. For no reason, absolutely no reason. People you know will say, God, what happened? You get in a relationship or something? You get a new house? You look wonderful. No, nothing happened. I'm just happier than I used to be. That's why. And the more you let go, the happier you are. And then what happens is because you can start to, I want you to be able to handle the day. Can you handle your day? And now you know what I mean. I don't even want the littlest disturbance in there to stay. I want it to pass through. Then what will happen once you can handle that, you learn the technique, bigger stuff will start coming up all by itself. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to go search for, well, how do I know what to handle next? None of your business. It'll come up by itself when it's ready, and then you let it go. And you just do the same thing with the stuff inside of you that you do what you learned outside. Just like you learned to play the scales, now you can start to play some pieces. Same methodologies. And pretty soon, bigger stuff's going to come up, and bigger stuff's going to come up. And you will reach a point where stuff comes up that's hard to let go of. But you've invested so much into this. Like, look how much energy you put into a relationship. You hear me? You put so much into this. You've been through so much that at some point, you let go. You sit there and say, this is not going to be where I stop. I'm not stopping here, period. And it hurts. If it was stored with pain, it's going to come up with pain. Do you understand that? So what? No pain, no gain. You work out that way. How about working in that way? Okay? And you just and at some point, you will have let go enough to where the dam will break. I'm guaranteeing you. Right? Now, instead of just a little joy, and a little bit happier, a little strength, wham, this energy starts flowing up inside. And then you see there's a direct inverse relationship between getting involved with your stuff and this energy flow. And eventually you're going to say, I am committed to this energy flow. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever felt, right? And you just keep letting go. You just keep letting go no matter what. And it's over. And it's over. You get so high and you stay high. It's not that you had some experience. It's a state of your being. Your state of your being is ecstasy. It's joy all the time. Now go out. Have fun, right? Because that's what life's going to be. Right? Stuff still goes the way you don't want. So what? It's fun. It's fun. All right. As I talk to you, there are two ways to live your life. You hear me? It can be a bear or it can be beautiful. Right? It doesn't get beautiful by getting what you want if you haven't caught on yet. Right? Lots of people get what they want, and temporarily a new car, a new house, a vacation, right? And then it's just right back because that stuff's still inside of you. If you do this work, it's called working on yourself, of letting go of your stuff. It's just something you do privately inside yourself every moment of every day. When you can handle your boss coming up to you and yelling at you, I told you to do it this way. He didn't, by the way. I told you to do it this way, right? Now look at it, the junk you turned it. I can't even. You're sitting there inside going, woo, this is fun. Don't smile, all right? But you're free. You're liberated inside. You're handling the energy. And when he's finished talking off, right, you sit there and say, thank you. That was very helpful. Let me give another shot at it and try to get it the way you want it. And laugh your head off. There's no defensiveness. There's no nothing. It was a fun experience. You're a high being. Do you understand that? You're aiming for sainthood. Every one of you can reach that state. There's nothing can stop you. You're the one who messed it up. You're the one who can fix it. All right. Work on these things. Jai Gurudev.